This is a Toyota Crown, Japan's idea of a luxury car circa 1971. The bosses in the boardrooms of Jaguar and BMW took one look and breathed a sigh of relief because they knew we British are so snooty about our luxury cars. Even second-hand, we prefer them to have decades of pedigree and ooze class from every body seam. If they're not made in Stuttgart, Munich, Coventry or Crewe, we look the other way. Which is a shame, really, because the Japanese have been practicing. And they've come up with a luxury car that can challenge virtually anything we've got in Europe. A car that is better built than a BMW, a Jaguar, and dare I say it, even a Rolls-Royce. Let me introduce you to Japan's whispering technocrat, the Lexus LS 400. You're beautiful, The Rolls-Royce from the land of the rising sun arrived here in 1990. Publicly, we said it was good, but didn't exactly rave. We thought it looked bland and was too insulating. Even coming top in the American JD Power Index 5 years in a row wasn't enough to turn us on. We ignored its 155-mile-an-hour top speed, its ethereal silence and its millionaire specification. Lexus even tried to make it better with a Mark II version in 1993. They gave it 1,700 tweaks and modifications. What do? We carried on buying the same old BMWs and Jaguars. And I'm as guilty as everybody else. I confess to unfairly discriminating against the Lexus. I'm a car racist. Because it was Japanese, I didn't like it, until, that is, I drove one every day. And now I'm not prejudiced anymore, and I'll show you why. Now, I've been driving this car for the last couple of months, and it has done a globe-trotting 151,000 miles. Nothing remarkable in that, you say. Lots of cars can do that. But it's the way that the Lexus wears all those miles that makes it such a truly remarkable machine. Forget the lustrous paint, the shiny flanks and virgin interior, and check out all these electric motors. There are more here than at a Scalextric's factory, and you'd think that after all those years and all those miles, time and motion would have taken their toll. But no, they all work faultlessly. In fact, the whole plot still whirs, clunks and thunks with millimetric precision. There really ought to be the odd rattle, creak or thud. Some clue that this car has done 8 laps of the world. But no, it feels like it's only been to the shops and back a couple of times. It is rattle-free, it is solid, and so quiet. Here am I on the M1 doing around the legal limit, and I can whisper, and you can still hear me. All of which might lead you to think that the LS 400 would make a beltingly good second-hand buy, and you'd be right. It depreciates as gently as a Mercedes S-Class, returns 25 mpg, costs less than £200 to service, and will be easier to sell than a weekend with Pamela Anderson. But most important of all, so little goes wrong. Here I have a printout of the entire maintenance history for this car. And in 151,000 miles, apart from routine servicing, the only money that's been spent on this has been on a rear fog light relay, brake discs, radio aerial, and air conditioning pump, which means that this car is on its original engine, gearbox, axle, suspension, steering, even the original exhaust. The bad news is there aren't that many about, like only 5,000 in the UK, so prices aren't cheap. Lexus dealers control the market, and second-hand values are best described as epic. But if you're sharp and don't mind a few miles, you can pick up a G-plater for around 10 grand. This 91 H-plate car set me back 11,000. And I'm here to tell you it's a price worth paying. Because, and this has to be the LS 400's most compelling virtue, there are so few of them about that it has to be Britain's most exclusive luxury car. And even with the monster mileage, it still makes serious second-hand sense.